We are, for the moment, shifting our focus to the state of Maharashtra, where 5 seats are polling. All of them are in the Vidarbha region. One of them is, of course, Nagpur. It's the Gad of the BJP. Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari is someone who is contesting from this area. It is a direct fight between him and Vikas Thackeray. Let's also not forget that Nagpur is the home of the RSS. I'm going to go across to Vaibhav Purandare, who's joining us on the broadcast, to give us some, perspective of the fight that is currently underway in Vidarbha. Vaibhav, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. 48 seats in Maharashtra, only 5 going to the polls today. So Tamil Nadu, of course, will take a large part of our time and focus and headlines. But just speak to us about the 5 seats going to the polls in Vidarbha. I mean, last time we know what happened in 2019. It was almost a clear sweep by the Shiv Sena and the BJP. Post that, much has happened in the last 5 years. There has been a messy divorce, and then there has been the Batwara. And oh my God, there is so much confusion that you still don't know who is with which party. Tell us whether those equations are playing into this election as well.
Like you quickly said, Shreya, there is an unprecedented kind of muddle in Maharashtra. Nobody knows who's with whom. There are at least 2 Shiv Senas and at least 2 NCPs at the moment. And there is the BJP and the Congress, of course. Like you also correctly pointed out, in the first phase, however, in Vidarbha, it's going to be a direct fight between the BJP and the Congress on 4 of the 5 seats. And between the Shiv Sena and the Congress on the 5th seat. So in that sense, it's a direct seat, it's a direct fight. It's not one Shiv Sena fighting another Shiv Sena or one NCP fighting another NCP. What is interesting in these 5 seats going to the polls in Vidarbha today is that the solitary seat that the Congress won in Maharashtra in 2019 comes from here. That is Chandrapur, and that is going to the polls today. And there, the Congress has done its best to retain the seat. It will be hoping to retain the seat, and also hoping to wrest some of the other 4 seats that the BJP had won last time. Nitin Gadkari is in a very strong position, of course, in Nagpur. The only question is whether he's going to win by a margin of several lakh votes, or whether his margin is going to reduce or increase this time. At the same time, it must be said that the Congress is putting up a tough fight in his constituency as well. So the Congress knows that the Vidarbha region has been its long-time bastion. It used to win practically all seats here for 40-50 years. Then the BJP took over, and sometimes it was the BJP and the Congress. But from 2014 onwards, the BJP has pretty much swept everything except Chandrapur, as I said last time. So the Congress is doing its best to get those seats back. It's a straight contest. Very interestingly, there are 2 tough seats here, which are considered tough rather by both sides. One is Chandrapur, which, like I said, was won by the Congress last time. The other is Ramtek, which the Shiv Sena, which the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena is fighting against the Congress. And in both these seats, in both these constituencies, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has gone ahead and held rallies. Now, this is a very important thing because it suggests that there is a distinct awareness within the Mahayuti alliance of where the tough seats lie. So that is going to be an important factor going forward. In Nagpur, it's going to be smooth sailing for Gadkari, though the Congress is going to put up a tough fight. In Chandrapur, the BJP is hoping to sail through and hoping to benefit from the Prime Minister's rally that was held there. While there is another seat there, Gadchiroli Gondia. Now, this is another interesting seat because traditionally Praful Patel and Nana Patole used to contest from here. This time, neither of them are contesting. The Congress leadership had asked Nana Patole, its a state Congress chief, to contest from here, but he didn't want to contest the election, so he has pulled out. But that has been a major blow to the Congress. Had he contested from there, this would have been another tough seat. So in the first phase, we would have gone in with 3 fierce contests out of 5 seats. But the Congress is known to score self-goals, and as always, in the past decade certainly, it seems to have scored a self-goal in Gadchiroli, Gondia by not putting up Nana Patole there. And there's another seat which is Bhandara as well. Sorry, Shreya, you want to say something?
Yeah. I just wanted to interject here and say that while Maharashtra and Maharashtra's politics is a khichdi and there'll be a khichdi in the other phases, as far as phase 1 is concerned in Vidarbha, there is a direct fight between the Congress and the BJP in the 4 seats out of the 5 seats that are going to polls today. I want to ask you this. Given the fact that Vidarbha is home to the Kunbi community, Vaibhav, is Maratha quota a factor here? And very importantly, who is it benefiting?
It's not a very big factor here. The Kunbi community does exist, but equally numerically strong are the OBC communities.
Vaibhav, can I interrupt you here for a moment? Can I interrupt you here for a moment? Because Mr. Nitin Gadkari, it seems, is speaking.
Okay.
1 minute. Acha, okay. Carry on, please. We'll just go to Nitin Gadkari in just a bit. Go ahead, Vaibhav. Sorry for interrupting you.
Okay, I'm sorry. So, though the Kunbi community does exist here, equally numerically strong are the OBC communities. And in fact, the tribal communities are very powerful here. They are very strong in number in Gadchiroli, in Bhandara, in all these 5 seats, which are in the easternmost part of Maharashtra. Some of them are in the Naxal-infested areas, Gadchiroli, for example. So the tribal communities are extremely important here. And that is why if you look at the Prime Minister's rallies also in this region, he has been repeatedly stressing the fact that he respects the Constitution. He's been talking about Babasaheb Ambedkar, which is a direct appeal to the OBC communities and the tribal communities here. That the opposition is putting out a false narrative that the Constitution is going to be changed, while the opposition has been harping on the fact that Modi is all set to change the Constitution. So the debate seems to be around this subject for the simple reason that the Kunbis are not such a big factor here. The Kunbis will be a bigger factor as we go further westward in Maharashtra and go towards the other part of Vidarbha and principally in Marathwada, which is where Manoj Jarange's heartland really lies. So the Marathas of Vidarbha are competing with the SCs and STs, and the SCs and STs and the OBCs have an upper hand here, as do the people of Nagpur, which is the birthplace of the RSS, where Nitin Gadkari has an excellent equation with the RSS.
Okay, so speaking of Nitin Gadkari, let's quickly listen into him.
आज हमारा लोकतंत्र का उत्सव है। सब लोगों ने मतदान भी करना चाहिए, ये वो हमारा फंडामेंटल राइट भी है और कर्तव्य भी है। मतदान किसको भी करे, पर मतदान करना ये लोकतंत्र के इस उत्सव में सबका कर्तव्य है और मेरी सभी मतदाताओं को खूब खूब शुभकामनाएं, शुभेच्छाएं।
सर, आपकी जीत को लेकर आप कितने आश्वस्त हैं?
मैं 101% आश्वस्त हूँ। अच्छे मार्जिन से मैं चुनाव जीतूंगा।
Okay, that is Nitin Gadkari, just as he steps out to vote, perhaps. Vaibhav, before I let you go, can he quickly have a quick word about Nitin Gadkari himself? His chips may or may not be down in the BJP right now. That is open to speculation. But, you know, the guy does have a solid reputation when it comes to his work. For example, if you go to my home state of Uttarakhand, you know, drivers will tell you, Nitin Gadkari ko le aao, wo सारी सड़कें बना देंगे यहाँ पे. In fact, you know, I was speaking to a couple of college-going kids in North India, and they seem to think that Nitin Gadkari is not just the road and transport minister of this country, but he's also the defense minister of this country. Is he speaking again? Let's quickly listen in, and then maybe you could talk to us about him, Vaibhav.
और इसलिए सब लोगों ने वोट करना चाहिए। भाई एक मिनट ऊपर ले। एक मेरी सबको रिक्वेस्ट है, हमारे यहाँ टेम्परेचर बहुत ज़्यादा है, 12 बजे के पहले ही वोट कर लेंगे, तकलीफ कम होगी। और इस मतदाताओं को वैसे बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और नागपुर में मैं बहुत अच्छे मार्जिन से जीतूंगा, ऐसा 100% नहीं 101% मुझे विश्वास है। और हमारे देश में मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हम 400 पार होंगे, ये भी पूरा।
नितिन जी इस बार लगता है कि जो लास्ट टाइम जो वोटिंग परसेंटेज था वो बढ़ेगा?
इस बार मुझे लग रहा है कि पिछले बार 54% था, इस बार 65% के ऊपर जाएगा। हमने 75% का टारगेट के पूरी कोशिश की।
5 लाख से जीत रहे हैं आप?
निश्चित रूप से जीतूंगा।
सर ये मार्जिन और बढ़ सकता है?
Vaibhav, I'm handing it over to you. This is a man who's, of course, popular in his constituency, given the fact that this is the third time I think he'll be eyeing to become the member of Lok Sabha from here. But he's also very popular across the country. He has a solid reputation for his work ethic.
He does. He's seen as one of the most performing ministers in the Modi government. People do give him credit for the work he's done. Perhaps his work may impact the seats going to the polls in your home state today. So that is also entirely possible. His work goes well beyond Nagpur. He's had his ups and downs within the BJP and outside the BJP as well. But he's really fought hard in this election to increase his margin, because I have a feeling that he may have a point to prove about himself and about his performance overall and about his reputation both within the BJP and outside of the BJP. And in Nagpur, he has an excellent equation with the RSS, which is a thing that he's got going for him. And he would definitely want to increase his margin significantly to make that point that he wants to make and put across India, I think. And you're right, he's hoping for a hat-trick, because he's won 2 consecutive times, and he's hoping for a hat-trick this time. And he'll be hoping that the RSS backs him, and his voters in Nagpur, who love food as much as he does, would be backing him for his popularity and for the tremendous amount of work he's done. There's absolutely no doubt that he's done a lot of work. At the same time, the Congress has worked extremely hard in this constituency, knowing that it must put up a tough fight, and it has put up a former city mayor and legislator against him. So he's had it tough, perhaps within the party outside. But he's giving it a good fight, and it will be interesting to see this contest really, and to see the margin.
The margin is what we'll be looking at. We know that he'll win the seat, but by what margin? A reporter asked him 5 lakh ka margin rahega, and he said 101%. So that's interesting, and that's Nitin Gadkari, very confident on the day his constituency is voting. Vaibhav, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you as always for your perspective here on Mirror Now. Speaking of voters of Nagpur, my colleague Shivani has spoken to some of them. Let's take a look.
Nagpur at the moment is seeing, heavy numbers in the early hours of morning. Of course, the temperature is also quite hot, and that's why it is bringing people in the early hours of morning to vote at the polling booth. Right now, we are in one of the schools in Nagpur, where you will see a larger number of people. Those have come in morning, and all age group of people you will be witnessing here. But let us take you through some voices. Those have already voted, and also we are going to speak to the voters as to what their issues and concerns are going to be. आपके क्या मुद्दे होने वाले हैं? विकास होगा, राजनीति होगी, विपक्ष के आरोप होंगे, या सत्ता के प्रोमिसेस?
सभी तो वैसे सभी होना चाहिए। विकास तो मेन चीज है, विकास ही होना चाहिए। राजनीति तो होती रहती है, तो हाँ।
तो विकास हुआ है नागपुर में?
हाँ, काफी विकास हुआ है, बट एक्सपेक्टेड है कि और आगे होना चाहिए।
आप युवा है, आपका पहला वोट है?
यस।
तो फर्स्ट वोट है, एक्साइटमेंट भी है चेहरे पर। किन मुद्दों को लेकर वोट कर रहे हैं?
Basically, I have to see a change in this country, in this city, so I think बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है वोट करना।
ओके, सो अगर आप वोट करते हैं पहली बार, तो किन मुद्दों को दिमाग में रखते हैं? एम्प्लॉयमेंट को, टेक्नोलॉजी को, डेवलपमेंट को, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को, रिलीजन को, मंदिरों को, या फिर किसी और चीज को?
आई थिंक एम्प्लॉयमेंट तो बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर है अभी, और डेवलपमेंट भी है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है ही, तो सारे मुद्दे ही है इम्पोर्टेंट, वो सबको मतलब काउंट में लेते हुए ही वोट करना है।
We are getting you more voter voices through the day here on Mirror now.